Hello everyone. Okay, we'll get straight to it. How you can pass OET medicine, or how I passed OET medicine from the first attempt. Even though my English language is not that good, but it's a technique exam. Firstly, I want you to know exactly which type of the exam that you're gonna take. Is it on paper, online, or on computer in a center? And the basic principle for this is you check with the institution that you're applying for. You check with the institution that apply for and make sure the institution that you're applying for is accepting the form that you're gonna take. For example, IMC, Ireland Medical Council, will accept just paper, and GMC, most of the institution in the GMC will accept just paper, and ECFMG, for the people who are taking USMLE, will accept paper, computer, and online. Basically, check with the institution that you're applying for. UK, Ireland, paper. USA, you can take it online or paper. Okay. Firstly, the listening. When you go to the exam, you will receive the paper. They will give you the instruction and all that stuff, and then the narrator will start. The narrator will say, like, okay, this OET exam, in this exam, you are in the listening. The listening is divided into two, part A and part B, extract 1 and extract 2, sorry. So this video that I'm making now is not for the people who are not aware of the structure, as you can tell. It's for those who are fully aware, or those who didn't succeed from the first attempt. So if you don't know the structure, I'm going to make another video about the structure of the OET. But this video is specifically for the people who knows the structure. Okay, when you receive the paper, the narrator will start. Don't listen to the narrator. Start immediately reading extract 1 of the listening. You will find 12 questions, as you know. And I want you to read from question 1 to question 12 in the extract 1. Don't listen to the narrator. While you're reading, I want you to assume the answer. For example, if it said, I had this backache after I left ... After he left what? After he left a heavy suitcase, for example. He left a heavy bag, which led to his back. So why his backache? So while you're reading, try to assume the answer. And I'm going to give you a very contradictory point, which is, don't focus too much. If you focus too much, you're going to miss the point. I want you to distract yourself in a way that you will just get the answer. For example, tap with your finger on the table while you are listening. While you are listening, tap on the table like this, without distracting others, of course. This will help you to focus in a level that will get you the answer right. If you focus too much, you will miss the answer, and I'm sure about that. So after you finish extract 1, the same way we said, you read from 1 to 12 while the narrator is talking. The narrator is a voice that you hear saying, this is OET exam. In this exam, you have the listening part. You know that. You already know what the exam is, what the structure. You don't need to listen. Just read. Try to answer. Try to assume the answer. Listen. While you listen, try to distract yourself. After you finish extract 1, listening, you're going to go to extract 2 immediately. Also, there is a narrator. Don't listen to the narrator. Read from question 1 to 12. Try to assume the answer. Listen while you distract yourself in a way that will just let you answer right, by tapping, for example, on the table without distracting others. And then move to the next. Okay? After you finish part A, you will have part B and then part C. In part B, you will have question and answers. They are 6. You will listen to a paragraph, 1 minute or 1 minute and a half. Then you will answer. Okay. There is a narrator also. The general point is, don't listen to the narrator through all the exam, because you know how the exam goes. From the start, listen, read the question, read the answers, then listen, pick the answer, and then move to the next. I want you to make a default answer, which is C, in your head. If you didn't know the answer, choose C and that's C. And once you move to the next question, don't think about the previous question. Because if you did that, that will make you lose points. Okay, so part C, question and answers. You will listen, you will read the question, and the answer before you listen. Because as we said, you are not listening to the narrator anymore. You just read the question and the answer, try to listen, take the answer. If you knew the answer, that's good. If you didn't, just choose C and move. In the part C, listening, which is the most difficult part, how you gonna solve it? I want you to focus to get question 1 to 5 right in each extract. As you know, listening, part C has 2 extracts. In each one, you will have 7 questions. Try to get from 1 to 5 right. How you gonna do that? Okay. Read the question and the answers from 1 to 5 before the narrator starts. Once you finish part B of the listening, the narrator will also talk. Okay, now you're gonna move to part C. In this part, there's 2 extracts. You know that. Try to read as much as you can, or read from question 1 to question 5. Read the question and the answers, and then listen. When you read a question while you're listening, it's a difficult part because you are multitasking. When you read the question, if you knew the answer, choose it. If you don't, choose C. And when the narrator passed that question, don't think about it anymore. Just follow the narrator. Okay. Then you will move to extract 2 in the listening, and you will do the same. Try to read from question 1 to question 5, because these are the questions that you try your best to get right. From question 1 to question 5. And then listen. If you knew the answers, that's if you didn't, just move by choosing C. Don't leave it blank. Okay. After you finish the listening, you will move to reading. And in reading, you have part A, B, and C also. In part A, you will have 4 paragraphs, and it will be divided to paragraph A, B, C, and D. How you gonna pass the reading? You're gonna pass the reading by, firstly, part A, reading. Try to read all the paragraphs, paragraph A, B, and C, and D, in the first 3 minutes. As you know, in the reading, you have 15 minutes for part A, and you have 20 questions, which is difficult. Each question has more than 1 minute to answer. Can you imagine? So you need to be fast. Okay. Part A, reading. You read paragraph A, B, C, and D in the first 3 minutes. Read like you read a newspaper. You just scan and try to absorb what you can absorb. And at the same moment, I want you to divide the paragraph in titles. But paragraph A usually will be definitions. Paragraph B could be a symptom. Paragraph C could be a treatment, and paragraph D could be prognosis, or diagnosis, or investigation. So in your mind, you divide each part into one title. Try to absorb as much as you can from each one. Okay, you have 15 minutes. You read in 3 minutes all the paragraphs. Start with question 8. Don't start with question 1 in the reading. Try to answer from question 8 to question 20. Each question has 50 seconds. If you knew the answer, that's good. If you didn't, just skip it. Leave 2 minutes at the end to answer question 1 to 7. Question 1 to 7 are simple questions. They will ask you in which paragraph treatment mentioned. It will be paragraph C, for example. In which paragraph this definition mentioned? Paragraph A. So we will just write A, B, C, D as you are aware. The point is, try to start with question 8, not question 1. So I'm gonna recap it again. Reading part A, which is difficult part, 15 minutes. 3 minutes, you read all the paragraphs. 10 minutes, you answer from question 8 to question 20. 2 minutes to answer from question 1 to 7. And then you will move to writing. In the writing, this is simple. Writing, you need to have an instructor, a mentor, or someone who can teach you. That's it. And I advise to have someone who is natively speaking English. For example, this video is not sponsored by them, but Benchmark are good. I think online also, OET online, and E2 language. All these can help you with the writing. And you need someone who is from your language, so he can express to you you need someone who is speaking your mother language, so he can direct you. You need both sources. And practice the same way you practice in the exam, the same way you have your exam. Print the OET paper, print them, put them in front of you. You have the PDF of the letter. Try to write in 45 minutes. As the exam, imagine yourself in the exam situation, take a picture or send it to someone who can correct it for you. This is the only way that you can pass the writing. And I'm going to give another advice: start early. Start writing early. The first day you start OET, the second or third day of your studying, send your first letter. Don't wait to the end. I did that mistake, which affected me badly, by the way. My writing was just 350 with just P, because I left the writing to the last week, and that's not right. You start writing from the day one. And lastly, listening. And I think listening and writing, both of them are just practice. You need to practice early. You have resources online. I'm going to talk about them later. You take the sources, the cards, you bring them, and you practice with someone. You need to practice daily and start practicing early. For speaking, I'm going to give you a very valuable advice. Once you receive the paper, you will receive a card in which there is a point that you need to discuss with the patient. For example, ask the patient about his smoking status. This will be written in your card. On the exam day, they have no access to the video. They just listen. The people who are marking your result will listen to you. They won't see you. So what I want you to do is, I want you to scratch the point that mentioned in the card and write what exactly you're going to say. For example, ask the patient about his smoking status. You write like this: okay, Mr. John, can you tell me, do you smoke? If yes, for how long and how many cigarettes a day? So you scratch the point in the card that you received and you write exactly what you're going to say, because the situation is very stressful and it may be difficult for you to recall what you're going to say during the exam. So it's better for you to do it before the exam started. I'm going to give another example. For example, the second point is, ask the patient, does he has cough? Okay? So you're going to scratch this and you write, okay, Mr. John, tell me, do you have any cough? And while you speak, try to be sympathetic. I'm really sorry for that. I hope you will get well. Okay? And practice. And even this method, you need to practice it with someone. I think if you follow these techniques, you're going to pass the exam easily. Thank you, and I hope you will pass your exam. See you there.